Hi everyone, this is a talk about the 3-2-2 formation. We're going to look at the formation, the different positions, roles and responsibilities, as well as reinforce defensive and offensive principles. So looking at the formation, obviously we have the goalkeeper. This is the left wing back. This is the center back. And this is the right wing back. We've got a defensive center midfielder, offensive center midfielder, or a more offensive center midfielder, and then we have our two strikers. What's great about this position is obviously we've got three at the back. We've got the two in the midfield and the two up front. So you've got pretty much a well-balanced kind of formation. You know, balance on the field, offensive and defensive balance is very much like a blanket. If we put too many players up here, then back here gets cold. You know, if we have more players in the defensive third, then we're going to get cold offensively. What's nice about the 3-2-2 formation is you have that balance. The blanket is covering most of the body, so to speak, and so you're able to get that offensive and defensive efficiency and production. So let's talk about these roles and responsibilities. Obviously, the goalkeeper is self-explanatory. You know, the wing backs here are really important because let's say the ball's over here and our team are in possession, and we've got that support around the ball. This wing back can go all the way up and maybe do an overlapping run on the outside. So we encourage this defender that the same side of the ball's on to get forward and affect play, and vice versa. If that ball's on the other side and let's say the opposition have it, you know, that defender can come all the way up and look to make things compact and make it hard for the opposition. Okay, so let's look at defensive principles first. So let's say there's a goal kick for the opposition. Let's say the keeper's just played it out. We have to honor that retreat line. But as soon as that touch is made, you know, our players can enter the retreat line and come in. So what we'd love to see before the kick even happens is that our players are looking at the visual cues of the body and making an anticipation of where the ball's going. So if the hips and the eyes and the shoulders turn this way, then everybody should be creeping across, and as that ball travels, we travel, and that center forward should be the first point of contact to delay and stifle and stop them from going forward. So we should have that pressure right away. The first defender, second defender should be coming in. We should have the offensive mid providing support behind, and right there, that's the shape that we want to see more often than not. We have that triangle, that compaction. Holding mid will sneak in below just in case they get round. As we said before, this fullback can look to join the party and maybe come up a little bit higher. And then we have the center back and the weak side fullback or wing back coming in. And right there, you can see what we're getting at. You can see what we're trying to do. We are trying to split the field. And hopefully you can see that there's an imaginary line all the way down the field. And we want all our defenders to get within that. So we split the field. Sometimes called fill the quarter, splitting the field. It's so beneficial because if we win the ball back here, we've got a pretty good chance to score. And that kind of is our philosophy, is we're not going to sit back in our half and wait for them to come into our area and then win the ball back and then have to go all the way down the field. We want to win the ball back high up the field, get it back, score a goal. And that's the name of the game. Now, obviously, if you're playing a savvy team and they know that they just can't go through you, good players will try and avoid that pressure if they're outnumbered, And that's ultimately what we're trying to do defensively, is outnumber the opposition. If they look to switch that ball to the other side, as that ball transitions back, these players are coming across the field, responding to where the ball goes, sneaking across the field. And we should have that fullback kind of dropping back a little bit, okay, when that ball's in the middle. And there we have that compaction again. And you can see that all of our players, apart from the goalkeeper, are in that quarter of the field. Now, as that ball travels again, and we might be able to predict that they are going to switch the play, and if that's the case, these players have to get across and look to stifle, get across and support, and as if possible, we're looking to funnel that play to our support, and that support is in the middle. So if possible, if we can try and channel that play into the middle, we make it predictable, and we can funnel the play to our support where hopefully we win the ball back. So that's what we're trying to do defensively on their goal kicks. If they manage to get by us, let's say that the ball gets there, they're able to get in behind us. We should hopefully have someone to put pressure on the ball. So it might be that let's say that the center back remains central. The weak side wing back is there. Everybody should be hustling to get back behind the ball. Defensive midfielders should be there, whose job is primarily to stop the flow of their attack. Let's say that they're on the ball. And let's bring these strikers back a little bit as well. Okay. But we should see, if the ball's here, we should see, the right wing back get engaged. Maybe the center back comes across a little bit to cover that space, and the weak side fullback tucks into that middle line. One of the strikers might be a little bit high, the other one might come down a little bit to look to hunt together. And we should have that triangulation again, kind of like that. So again, we are filling in that quarter of the field, and we're looking to be compact. And as soon as we win that back, allez, we go. And that fullback can go, the other center forward can go, and the midfielders can go, and we're looking to eliminate defenders and attack and get in behind them. Okay? On our goal kicks, let's say the goalkeeper has it. This is really important. It's probably a goal kick is the greatest chance to score for the opposition, because if we give it away in front of the goal, that's not good. New rule: you can go inside the 18-yard box. So we should have this shape. So we've talked about it in the resource lots. We should have width and depth, and width and depth kind of looks like this. Okay. And the reason why we kind of want this big shape is we give a multitude of different lines. We've got kind of the back line, midfield line, and the strikers in their line. And we give a multitude of different angles where we can look to advance the ball. Now, good defenders always do two jobs, or 1.5 jobs it's sometimes called. They mark a lane, and they also mark players. So, by playing with that width, we really kind of pull out these defenders, and then that enables us to maybe play through because we've got that width. So that width is vital because it allows us to go through the middle. Now let's say they are savvy defenders and they're doing two jobs. They're marking a lane and marking a player. They're blocking passing lanes, and they're also marking players. So let's say we're advancing the ball. If we can't, the number one priority is to go forward. And if we don't look forward, we don't go forward. We've got to look the way we play. And we used to say you got to play the way you look, but really you got to be looking the way you play. And we want to look this way and play that way. We want to look to eliminate defenders. So if we can play that ball and it goes through, we need that penetrative possession. And it should be high percentage penetrative play. Now, if we can't go forward, and let's say that the first defender comes up and they've got the triangulation, then we're going to the side. And then hopefully we can go forward. And it's really important when these wingbacks get the ball that these strikers, as soon as the ball goes to that side, they must be coming to that side as well and providing that outlet and that penetrative ability to go forward. Okay? But let's say that's not on for whatever reason. What we need to happen is, so let's say that they've stopped us from going forward. What we really need out of these midfielders, these center midfielders here, is to get between those lines to allow us to advance the ball. So we need, as you can see here with the Reds, we have a triangle. We need those midfielders to kind of get in the middle of the triangle and find those passing lanes, so then we can eliminate defenders and off we go. These midfielders are vitally important, and to be a center midfielder, you got to be a special player. You got to support. You got to be able to receive and pass the ball and play in pressure. And when we build out with the ball, we should see the midfielders occupy different space. So we might have one low and the other one high. So the kind of analogy is that they're on opposite sides of the clock. So this one might be at around 8 o'clock. So if you think of that clock, he's around 8 o'clock. This one's at 2, the opposite side of the clock. And by having the different heights and different angles, we provide different options and make it harder for the defense to cover both bits of space. So what we might see is when our keeper plays it to our center back, we might have that midfielder kind of drop off and flatten out to the side of the ball. As they're under pressure, and we get that little pass in there. Now, as soon as that pass happens, obviously there might be a passing lane in the middle there. We might get that midfielder coming towards the ball. The timing of the run is imperative, and getting that ball, right? And we might even have that center midfielder just dropping all the way down into here, looking to get the ball. And if they can't go forward, if they're under pressure right away, maybe they go back to the goalkeeper. We've got to have the confidence and composure and courage to go backwards and use that goalkeeper. And of course, if that goalkeeper gets the ball and they're under pressure, we flatten out either side of the ball, and then we look to advance and go forward again. So that's what we want to see. We want to see that backwards pass, and then switching that point of attack. If we are stopped and we can't go forward, let's say we didn't provide that support, turn around, find that goalkeeper. Let's see if we can go the other way and advance it the other way. We should have that courage, composure, and commitment to playing with possession. At the same time, we need that penetrative ability to eliminate defenders. All right, hopefully that makes sense. We've covered the 3-2-2 formation and the defensive and offensive principles. Thank you.